All right, welcome back, everyone. Now we're going to go ahead and start talking about licensing. Yes, licensing a Cisco router. One of the things that they didn't do in the past, but they're doing now. So it's one of the new parts of the certification. Now, before iOS 14, there was no need for licensing. It was all based on an honor system, right? And now, but after iOS 15 and beyond, they've licensed it, as it says there, to the hilt. To the hilt, okay? Now, integrated service routers are pre-installed with the software images licenses that you order. So whenever you call Cisco and or whoever you call your router, you tell them, hey, this is what I'm going to use. This is what I need. And they already come installed. If anything, you just need to enable them, activate them. It's just a matter of registering online, okay? But other than that, they're ready. If you want other features, right, you can always purchase them, go and upgrade it just like anything else. Now, Cisco provides an evaluation licensing for most software packages and features that are supported by the hardware and temporary license only. But, okay, after the evaluation period of 60 days is over, nothing happens. Go back to the honor system. So they give you a temporary license, right? It's an evaluation copy, but it continues on and on and on and on and on, unless you say, "Hey, Cisco, yeah, it ran out. Can you please, I want to buy it now." So it's based on you, but no. 15.0 code, packaging code is now called universal image, and you can look at that when you do a show version. Just an easy command, or you can do show license, all right, all or detail or whatever. You can see it already there. What is it that you have? All right, if you want to be more specific, show license summary, it'll show you. But the show version will show you what you're using. As you boot up, it'll show you the iOS that you have. Okay. Now, the feature sets are available in one particular file. All right. You must activate the feature of the iOS that you need, and we'll play around in the lab. Now, there are 3 different technology packages available for purchase. The additional that you could install on top is the IP base. Now, normally you have the data, which is the MPLS, ATM, and multi-protocol support. The unified communications for VoIP and IP telephony, and security. Cisco iOS firewall, intrusion prevention systems, IPsec, 3DS, and VPNs. Okay, so those are already additional features that you can go ahead and purchase. Now, as far as obtaining a license, one of the things, the first things that you want to do is you want to do a show license UDI. Show license UDI. You need that UDI number in order to do that. All right, and the product ID. Well, here it is. Show license UDI. All right, then you activate your Cisco product license, and you need to permanently activate the software package using your UDI and the product authorization key. And again, you go to cisco.com license and just register. So with whatever product ID they get, whatever registration ID they gave you with your product ID, you should be able to register and you get those features. Okay. You need to activate the license on the router. And again, you would do a license install, and then the flash, whatever license is that you have, and then you reload. You must reload. All right. Then the right to use. This is what's it's funny. Enabling the right to use license boot module, technology package, security K9. We're gonna do all this in the lab, so you're gonna see how it goes. All right. And then you say yes or no, and then you activate it, and you'll see how it says yes, and then it'll say no, and so forth. You can do a show license feature, and show version. So the licensing is important, which I'm glad to put in the certification now. But again, it's a matter of just going there. Hey, I need this. Give me what I need. They give you a key. You register it online using your UDI, boop, and then you obviously activate it within the router itself. Okay. Now, backing it up, it's not a big deal. License save. And again, depending on your iOS, backing it up to flash, license save flash, and then the name of the license. It's not going to be called Bob_license.lic, but whatever. And then to uninstall your license is the license boot module, the name of the iOS, and then disable if you want to go ahead and uninstall it. And then license clear security K9. Or you do the opposite, no license boot module and the name of the license. Disable and then reload. And again, all these commands we're going to do in the actual lab. We're going to play around with these commands, look at different things so you can see what it is. As far as the certification is concerned, know where the UDI is, all right? Know the commands that in order to look for your license or your UDI, things of that. You're not going to be installing a license in the certification. You're not going to be disabling features you just need to understand what it is, where you go register. They're not going to be, grill you on licensing, but at least you have a basic understanding of how to look at the license, and then the evaluation, and now it's the honors, with the honor system before. After 15.0 is where everything was, licensed for sure. If you don't have it, you can't use it. Things like that. That's what you need to be more focused on as far as certification. Doubtful that you're going to go ahead and do any kind of actual lab environment for licensing. Not going to happen. All right. So with that said, I'll see you in the next. All right, welcome to the licensing lab. So we're going to do a couple of the commands that we spoke of earlier within the packet tracer. As you can see, this is a 2900 series router. All right, we can always do, let's click in here. So we can hit enter, do enable, and you can do a show ver, and it'll tell you this is version 15.1. Okay, it is a C2900, and it's running the universal K9 version. All right, since now we know that after 15.0, we have to license everything we have. But how do we know? Hey, what happened there? How did that come up? Let's clear the screen here. All right, so let's look at show license, and then we'll question mark it. And you can show all detail feature, but remember it said UDI because you need that UDI and that PID, or that process identifier, those two numbers, to go ahead and be able to license your particular technology package. Okay, so that'll be the first one that you do. Okay, that you will do so you can get it. All right, you got those two numbers. You write this down, and again, you're not going to get it in the certification because it's too many steps and you don't have the time for it. But at least know what the UDI is, all right, and what the PID is. All right, it has to do with your licensing. Now, features, if you want to activate a feature, let's see what features we have. I'm just going to up arrow, and I'm going to do feature. All right, and look at that UCK9 at the very bottom. UCK9. It says enforcement, yes. Evaluation, yes. So we know that that's, right to use. Subscription, no. Enabled, no. So we want to enable the right to use, yes, obviously. But we want to go ahead and enable that particular feature. So how do we do that? All right, we go to config T, and we saw it already. We go license. All right, again, I take you step by step. Boot, module, step by step, C2900. You're just going to put the C in tab. Obviously, you're not going to do the certification, but if you would, you could in tab. Technology package. And then they have two, security K9 or UCK9. One is based for just security features. The other one is for unified communication technology such as voice. All right, so we're going to do UCK9. You can see up here, remember, that it's not enabled. This is not enabled. All right, okay, cool. So we're going to go ahead and say UCK9. We want to enable that particular feature. Now, if you question mark, you got an option. You can disable it, but if you disable it based on what we talked about before, you're going to take it out. So, or you can just hit control right here so you can enable it. And it's going to tell you, do you want to accept this? Why, of course I do. Deactivation. Yes, I do. Just put a Y on there. And it's going to tell you, use the right command to make the license boot config take effect on the next boot. So basically, all you do is copy run start, or I'm just going to do WR from right here. And I'm going to do a do reload. Okay? And let the router reload. That's going to then take effect. It's going to look at everything, and it's going to enable that particular feature that I want. All right, because I'm doing voice, whatever the case may be. All right, so we're going to do enable. I'm going to do a show license feature. And now that UCK9 is enabled. Enabled. That's how you enable a feature. So how would you take it out? Well, you do the exact same thing. You do the exact same thing. License. Let's tab this because boot module. Okay, and then C2900. I want to tab. That's why I'm doing this. Technology package, and then we have the UCK9. But now, instead of hitting enter, I want to hit disable. Okay, again, it tells you to copy, run, start, or just do WR or WR, where the case may be, and then do reload. Now you can see here before I reload that feature UCK9 is enabled. We have enabled it, but now we're going to disable it because we don't want that feature anymore for whatever reason. All right, so we're gonna let it reload again, and obviously, in a production network, please don't be reloading your router. All right, people are not going to be happy with you if you do that. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is a lab environment. So we test. You test everything in a lab environment before you take it out into production anyway. You should know this. License. No, show license. I can't spell license. There you go. Show license feature. All right, and now it's disabled again. And that's it. But the show license, there's a lot more to it than just that, right? You can take a look at the UDI. We looked at that. We looked at the feature. You can look at all and take a look at everything that you have. Your primary license, which is your base, your IP base K9. This is the version, it's permanent, it's active, it's in use. So you can get a lot of information. Security K9 is an evaluation. So that means you have the right to use, right? The honor system that we talked about that, whatever. Okay. You have the data K9 as well. Okay. It's active, but it's not in use. It's not in use. So you can go through here on a step-by-step process and see exactly what features are active and not active. But remember, when you get your technology package, you get your license, you need to register it with Cisco. You need to go to cisco.com/license. You need to have a user account and register that particular package. Okay. Then you can go on the router and do what we just did. And then you'll be good to go. You do want to go ahead and actually, register the license with Cisco. You do want to go ahead and activate it, obviously, in your router. You don't want any problems. All right. You don't want your network all of a sudden and the busiest day of the year to say, oh, look, these guys are not registered with us. And they do something to you. Okay, so don't do that because you'll be left with the IP-based K9 with just normal everyday features. And you may need something special for voice or security, or you need some special routing protocol, what have you. Okay, you need to look into what each individual, the data K9, the security K9, the UC K9, all these different features that are there, what do they do? Is it something that I need? All right, because it's a very general statement what it tells you when we looked at it for communication purposes. Okay, so, but you want to look into it, you can also go to Cisco.com or you can just Google it and just find out. Because sure, the book doesn't tell you what it does. Okay, so you can go ahead and take a look. There's too many. There's too many licenses out there that do many different things. And there's many series of 2,900 routers out there. Okay, but this is all it is. This is all it is. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You saw how we activated it, the particular feature, and deactivated it or enabled it and disabled it. Looked at our features, found, show license UDI, looking for that process identifier plus the UDI. So that's all it is. So you can register your license. Very simple. But again, I'm telling you, you're not going to see things like this as far as hands-on on the certification, but you will definitely get questions on it. So what the PowerPoint gave you is pretty much all you need. I'll see you guys outside the lab. All right, welcome back. We made it through the lab. It wasn't so bad. It was pretty simple. A couple commands here and there. Not a big deal. So let's go ahead and summarize what we've done. We looked at the different licensings from old to new. Basically, before 15, there was no licensing. honor system, right? Now after 15, there is a license. The right to use is that evaluation copy that Cisco lets you use for 60 days. And really nothing happens after 60 days. You can continue using it, right? So, that's, again, it's up to you to be straightforward and call Cisco. The other one is additional features. You need to purchase those. You go to whoever it is. You purchase those features. They give you you need the UDI. Remember, the UDI, and you go ahead and they give you this key. You download it, then you register it. You install it in your router, and you reload. All right. Obtaining the license is pretty much the same thing. You go and you choose the license that you want. Even though when you're ordering, you're saying, listen, I need a router that does A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever, okay? And that's going to be already pre-installed. You're more likely going to be doing additional features. But if you want to go ahead and upgrade the license or whatever, it's as easy as just, making a phone call, getting, hey, I need to download, what's the file, blah, 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 and they'll download it. Then once you obtain it, you activate your license online by registering it, and then you obviously activate it in your router as well. And then backing it up, you saw a license saved to the flash, the name of the file, okay? And that's pretty much it, all right? And then you can uninstall it, all right, your license. And you saw little things how we made it work and take it out and put it back in, disable, enable, all that stuff. That's where the uninstalling is, okay? But get your license. Get your features. It's not that difficult. It's just, we've done it with Microsoft. God knows how many times you need your license or whatever software or application you purchase. You need the license in order for it to work. Evaluation copies in, then you need to register it. They give you a key, you download it, you upgrade it, and then it may require a reload. Now, definitely with this, it will require a reload, but just like any other type of license, just the key thing here, I think if you want to remember when you're getting features or obtaining a new license and all that stuff, is that you need that UDI, your UDI, all right, and your product identification, all right? But that's it. That's all there's to licensing. See you in the next.